So today we are going to be talking about the Caitlin Clark situation yesterday. I do want to apologize about the basically whisper talking in this video. Um, Obviously you can see the light is my phone. Um, yeah, I do want to apologize. Just can't really be too loud right here. But I think this is a kind of important video to make because it is important to talk about this entire situation as a whole. Again, I do want to very much apologize for the whisper talking and the low voice. I'm not trying to make sure anyone in my general vicinity is going to wake up. Maybe. Oh, if I do, eh, it won't be ideal, but still, we gotta take a look at this. So, it appears that what was said to Caitlin Clark has now been revealed. Look, one thing I will say is there's no guarantee that this is what happened. But the person who posted this had proof they were at the game, had proof they were at other games. And considering the fact that it's been picked up by some of the legitimate journalists and not automatically dismissed as oh, this isn't it, means that this is more than likely true. If this ends up being false, I will just take private this video. The second this happens, I will private it. I don't want false information out there. But at this point in time, it is believed that this is true. So, yeah, I do also want to say, while it's believed it's true, there is no absolute proof. Again, the person has put up enough evidence, and also we've heard kind of similar stories from multiple people who were in that general vicinity. And yeah, so this is the post on Twitter right here. So people were saying that she really said this an hour after the game when one of her own fans was ejected. Apparently he had, again, I wasn't there, supposedly he had credentials, Sun media credentials. Supposedly he was paparazzi. Again, I don't know 100% of that. That is the rumor. But it said he didn't just call her a C word. He also said he hopes she falls and breaks her neck, amongst other things. Then he got to go back to his seat and brag to other Sun fans, basically saying, apparently he told the security that, sorry, let's get this here. He told security that he just said she whines too much and that she overreacted, and he was just given a warning. And I think more than one person has come and said that they sat there and had proof they were at the game and were they didn't hear what he said, but he was bragging about it afterwards. So, says here, may have to delete this because people in my DMs are ruthless. That's just the reality of the situation, and I hate. Someone said, I was told he told the staff he only yelled stop whining at her, so they didn't do anything more. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You should have gotten pictures with him. Don't want to fan the flame more. Don't stand for any hate in my post. Please do not comment anything negative towards any players. The guy told the Fever reporter that he was kind of embarrassed by the whole thing because he said he just told her to quit whining. Seemed embarrassed at first, the second people kept coming to talk to him, he was happy. But there's no way. By the way, look, Caitlin, there's no way quit whining would have gotten Caitlin Clark to do that. There's no way even just calling Caitlin Clark a C word, I think, would have gotten Caitlin Clark to kick him out of the game. I think it was probably constant and excessive, especially because we saw the reaction of Nalissa Smith. She said it to Nalissa Smith and she kind of just was oh wow. So obviously I think that it was, I would believe this. There's no reason not to at this stage. But I think that this is one of those situations where it's everyone's saying oh, it's not been Fever fans, it's not just Fever fans. The reality is that every fan base in sports, everything in life is going to have a few bad eggs. There's going to be psychos everywhere. There's going to be crazy people. And the reality is that not to, in life in general, not to just stereotype and make a blanket statement over a group of people, and which obviously people have done with Fever fans, people have done with Caitlin Clark fans, and this person saying that, oh, DMs are ruthless, I mean, I believe them. I think if my Twitter account was called Mick Talks Hoops and not for my old 2K stuff, I would be getting that abuse every single day. Heck, my business email has daily xenophobic emails. But at the end of the day, look, it's And as annoying as it is, it's not that it comes with the territory. I hate to have to say it, but it comes with the territory. And obviously, the more you see that crap, the easier it's to deal with, especially because a lot of the time it isn't in person. Obviously, the Caitlin Clark one was in person, which is rough. But at the same time, look, I'm not going to say that it's all Sun fans. Like, I'd be a complete hypocrite to say that. I'd be a complete hypocrite to call out Sun fans. I do think the security should have done a better job. I do think the security should not have let him back into his seat. Because whatever Caitlin told the refs should have been final. At the end of the day, yeah, it is a spectator sport, but the job of security is to protect the players. It is not to protect the courtside seat fans. It is not to protect the media. It is to protect the players as much as anything. So looking at some quote tweets, obviously it's going to be a lot of, it's funny what it was said is like, so are you going to acknowledge this? I actually don't think the Connecticut Sun should acknowledge this. Like, I think it is the security in the arena, which is not owned by the Sun. Like, it is the security's fault. This is why the CC fan, I'm waiting to hear all the outrage. Like, I don't think that, like, no players are asking about it. I mean, at the same time, even though it's one of those things where it's like selective outrage has been a thing, I do feel like if people are complaining about selective outrage, or people are complaining about being like, players shouldn't be asked to speak out, like, we can't just then suddenly ask Sun players to do the same. The reality of this is that players can control what they do on the court. They can control their own actions. And that is all we can expect of these players. These are basketball players at the end of the day. Like, if they do other things, great. But that is all that is they're responsible for. They're responsible for doing their job. Like, you wouldn't ask a plumber to do your accounts. You wouldn't ask an electrician to fix your roof. So at the end of the day, these are basketball players. Obviously, some of them do more, and that's great. Like, if a basketball player wants to do things other than basketball, that is great. But it's not a responsibility of a professional basketball player to do anything other than play basketball. That is their responsibility. And I think it's whether, like, people are asking for that, like for Caitlin Clark being like, she has no responsibility to do this. In the same breath, like, the Sun players have no responsibility to, like, answer for this idiot fan. Like, I think it's got the stage where we just got to call idiots, and not make it a bigger deal than it is, and not make it some like grander picture. The guy was an idiot, should have been kicked out. It's the security's fault. The Sun didn't do anything wrong. The players on the Sun didn't do anything wrong. Caitlin Clark didn't do anything wrong. The reality is the only people that did anything wrong were the security guards and the idiot that decided to be go so far past the line of heckling that the line was a dot to him. So anyway, yeah, that is 8 minutes. So we are going to end it there.